Farmers know the decisions made on Capitol Hill have some of the biggest impacts on their operation. Leveraging non-checkoff dollars, the American Soybean Association is at the policy forefront, advocating for the soybean farmer 1,000 miles away from the farm field.
What we do is focus on policy from the grassroots up. And this is the beginning of that process where our farmers have a conversation over the course of the week at Commodity Classic. And it's states submitting recommendations, they get together in caucuses, chew over ideas. There's a subcommittee process where farmers from all over the U.S. get together and discuss their differences, really work on the nuances of the policy, and then it culminates with the delegate session where they get together and they put it all together into our resolutions document that guides our policy focus for the rest of the year. A lot of discussion on trade, that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Looking at China and making sure that we hold them accountable with phase one, but also a lot of forward-looking discussion to say India has over 1 billion people. How do we engage with that country? And not just engage, but how do we lean in and establish a free trade agreement between the US and India? So I think it's a lot of that type of discussion where we look behind us and say, what do we need to do to improve? And then we look forward and say, how do we build and go forward? Beyond trade, a lot of discussion about animal health. I think the African swine fever issue in China certainly piqued the interest of a lot of farmers to say, how do we protect US livestock? How do we make sure that not only do we protect it, but we grow it? Boy, it'd be awesome if we could grow soybeans, crush soybeans, feed animals, and ship animal protein out from the US. And that begins by making sure what we have here is protected. In general, some discussion on infrastructure. How do we talk to legislators? How do we make sure that what we're advocating for makes sense? And how do we prioritize what we want to go after? And so I think there was, throughout the week, a lot of conversation on inland waterways, on roads and bridges, even a little bit on rural broadband to say, how do we continue to expand that? Overall, great discussion throughout the week. It was really good to hear from farmer leaders to make sure we're on the right track. It was a great celebration this week. We had 24 past presidents join us this week, and what a way to celebrate, to go back all the way to 1980-81 and visit with the individuals whose shoulders we now stand on. We were able to celebrate that past and just kind of walk through what we've experienced over the last couple of decades. From a visual standpoint, we had archived a lot of video footage, a lot of photos over the last 100 years. We saw those throughout the week. We saw them on display on the trade show floor. And what a cool way to kind of look back at what we have done over the last 100 years. Starting the soy checkoff, starting an international marketing program, starting an office in China, in Taiwan, and Germany, and being able to look at the state soybean associations and when they started. We've become known around the world. It's just remarkable. But also to pivot and to look forward to say, boy, if we've done that, what are we doing for the next 10 years, for the next 50, or for the next 100, for the next soy century? What are we going to be focused on? And I think it certainly continues to be trade, it certainly continues to be other uses, a lot of talk around biodiesel as we look forward. And I also think it's the unknown. We don't know what else we're going to discover in the next 100 years and where this amazing commodity is going to go. Our president, Bill Gordon, is in the process of appointing a strategic planning committee, and we will work on the next strategic plan from now through the end of the year. We will put that in front of the board of directors, and it will go into effect October 1st of 2021. I do think that there's some areas where, as an organization, we can focus on some pillars, give us that strategic push and direction, but those will be the decisions that our farmer leaders make over the next few months.